I didn't realize that Martin Daniels was not going to run. And everyone knows, or a lot of people know, that I just finished a campaign in November and hadn't really thought about what the next step was for me. And now when I look back on that, it's like you fall off the horse, you get back on quickly, and you ride again. And so I was approached by several people in February. And again, I said, I didn't know that Martin Daniels was not going to run. And so I said, let me give it some thought. The first thing, and I didn't say this, but the first thing in my head was like, it's too soon. But then when I thought about it, it's as state rep for District 18, it's a way for me to really do what I wanted to do for the run for mayor, is make a difference in Knoxville. But it's specific to District 18. I think we can still make a difference in Knox County and make it specific to District 18. And so I just have a passion to serve the community and make Knoxville the best city, and Knox County the best county it can be. And that, just as I did in the mayor's race, and I have that same philosophy with the state house race. So I think 2021 is going to bring some challenges to the administration and to the state legislature. Being able to work through those with the administration, because I've lived them in my own company, and I know the pain and struggles of small business through this pandemic. I know them firsthand, and trying to save jobs for employees. I think that is going to be the first thing that the legislature is going to have to take on in the next session. So I think the pandemic, the post-COVID, is going to be something that will be at the top of my list. Education, the education of Knox County kids. I said it during the mayor's race, and again, the education of city kids is a huge importance. It was an importance to me. It was very important to me during the mayor's race. And education of our kids, public education, the support of public educators and staff is and will always be important to me. I come from I have a sister who's a second grade teacher. I know what public education is all about. I'm a product of public education. So really working toward continuing to give our kids the best education we possibly can. But I was with the governor yesterday, and we talked about technical school, vocational school, and the governor is very, very, very committed to technical school, technical training, and specifically here in Knoxville. So I think that's going to be one of the things that we will certainly focus on, managing in excess of over 100 full-time employees on a daily basis, and the crooks and bends of that, and being in the service industry like we are. I have service industry experience, and I can't really, this is not saying that she doesn't. I'm just saying this is what I have. I am a visionary, and I know I am would not be at the executive branch of government, but I think being a visionary is still important. Not only am I a visionary, I work on the team to get it done. So I can be the leader, or I can play a role as part of the team. And with 36 years experience, my role in city government for a while, I kind of know how to navigate I want to say the bureaucracy, but I kind of know how to navigate through government entities. And so I think that's that's the value I will bring. And I'm an open-minded individual, and I want to hear all sides. I'm not just closed-minded from a party perspective, and that's the way I make my decisions. I want to hear everybody's perspective, and then I'll make a decision.
I think, like a lot of people, 2016 woke me up to how important people can be in the political process, and that if we wanted to just sit at home and complain about things, we could, or we need to get involved. 2018 at a state level, we had a lot of things happen that I was not comfortable with. And so last year I went to Tennessee Public Service Academy, sponsored by the Tennessee Bar Association, which encourages attorneys to be involved in the political process, not just running as candidates, but also how to support candidates. And I thought maybe I could do that. And I was waiting for someone to step up and run for the House seat in my district that had been held by Martin Daniel for the last 6 years. And prior to that, it's been in Republican hands for 20 years. Stacey Kemp failed. I've lived through that, and Steve Hall. And I had talked a lot with Greg McKay, who lost the race by just 747 votes 2 years ago. And he had put in his time and energy and didn't want to run. And we kept talking to people and nobody was wanting to run. And I'm like, I'm not letting this seat go unopposed. Well, the education, the private school vouchers, that was the first one. The idea that our tax dollars would go to the K through 12 private institutions instead of better funding for our public schools has me really upset. I don't have children, but I watch my neighbors who work so hard to participate in their children's schools and everything, and it's not the direction we need to be going. Private school vouchers is not. And then in February, Governor Lee stood up and made it clear that one of his big goals during his term is reducing healthcare access for women. I really want to focus on education, public education. And it's not just the funding for our schools. My sister has been teaching for 31 years. It's in Southeast Kentucky, but a very similar area. My mom was a public school teacher. My dad was a public school teacher. And what they keep saying, and what I hear locally, is our children are not prepared for school. They're, coming to school hungry. There's all kinds of issues going on at home. If we improve that environment and prepare them to perform in school, then I think our schools will be better. And then you do have to fund our schools better, get our teachers better pay, get them proper resources, especially during COVID-19. But it's been a long time since his business was really small. My business truly only has 9 employees and myself and a co-owner. And we've been that way for about 12 years. We could grow if we could get a lot of capital to help us build a bigger building. I know what true small business owners are facing. I'm also not scared to make clear what my positions are. If you look at his stance on vouchers, it's like, well, I'm going to have to see where that falls out. And healthcare, well, I'm going to have to look at, Medicaid expansion. He's not willing to make a stand. You have to be willing to state your position, research it, make sure it's right for our constituents, which Medicaid expansion is, which private vouchers are not, and be willing to fight for those positions. Both sides want to improve public education. We all want to work for economic growth in our small businesses. We all need better health care. These are common issues, and I want the voters to know I will take their phone call, I will meet with them, and we will figure out how to make everything better for everybody.